Hello, good people of YouTube. Sealord here, and today the update notes for update 12.7 have gone up. We are going to go through the update notes in the article, which you can check out in the link down below if you want to read along as I read aloud, and discuss what you guys need to know in order to get the most out of the update and also be the most informed. There's a whole lot of stuff coming in this update. We've got some ships that have been long awaited to finally be introduced into the game normally, and a ship that I wasn't really expecting to come out as soon as it did as well, along with a couple of new modes, graphical overhaul, and a whole lot more, so stick around for that. If you do find this video informational or entertaining or anything like that, if you just enjoy the video, make sure to leave a like and comment down below. Helps out on the YouTube side of things. So again, let's go ahead and get into it. Now, we are going over the main bits of information and the things that, again, you need to know. There's a ton of other changes happening in this update, so if you want to see everything, check out the link down below. Alright, so let's go ahead and get on into it. They say Update 12.7 delivers the following a lot. Construction of Lushun in the Dockyard, Concealed Maneuvers Stage 2, Steel Will, Battle Pass, Visual and Audio Enhancements, the Armory, Trade-In, Ranked Battles, Clan Battles, Brawls, various improvements and changes. The return of Arpeggio of Blue Steel. That was a real surprise. Out of nowhere, that collaboration's coming back. And of course, the other addition and changes. So a lot to get through, so let's go ahead and get on into it. So Lushun is coming in the Dockyard. The ship looked like during testing and development is going to be a little crazy. It's a oh, and of course the name just absolutely skips my mind when it comes time to discuss it in game, but it's the tier 9 Soviet destroyer with a super hill, but it's not Soviet. Alright, so the construction of Lushun is commencing in the Taiyuan dockyards with the release of update 12.7. The ship is armed with 4 130mm main battery guns housed in 2 turrets. She has a high firing rate and great damage per minute for her AP shells. Flat trajectory ballistics mean that she effectively can fire over long ranges. As for her torpedo armament, it's represented by 2 quintuple tube torpedo launchers armed with deep water torpedoes. The ship has low maneuverability but good concealment. Lushun is distinguished by an unusual set of consumables. She has access to heavy repair teams, that's the same repair teams that you get with the Sevastopol, with long operation and cooldown times and hydroacoustic search, but she doesn't have engine boost or smoke generator. The construction process comprises 35 phase, 30 of which can be progressed through by completing dockyard combat groups. Combat mission groups, although it was something else there for a second. You can also complete shipbuilding phases by spending 1,950 dubs per phase and purchasing starter packs. 10 shipbuilding phases in exchange for 11,000 doubloons, so that'll get you over the 5 that you need, obviously. And 5 shipbuilding phases in exchange for 7,000 doubloons, or you just get that one, and there you go. You got your tier 10 premium ship for 7,000 dubs. The dockyard combat missions can be completed during a period that spans update 12.7, update 12.8, and the first 3 weeks of update 12.9. The dockyard will remain in your port until the release of 12.10. So you've got 5 weeks with 12.7, another 5 weeks with 12.9, so 10 weeks there, and then 3 weeks of 12.9. I'm sorry, all of 12.8, 3 weeks of 12.9. So you have 13 weeks all in all to complete the dockyard, and then you have all of updates, all the rest of update 12.9 for deciding if you want to, buy the thing. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it is a tier 10 premium ship that you can get for 7,000 dubs, which is really, really good. And the combat missions, like we've seen in other dockyards, they're perfectly doable. Now, again, some of the later stages, yeah, they're going to be a little bit challenging for the average Joe, but completely doable from what we've seen in the past. I doubt they'll change that here for the Lushun. Is the Lushun itself going to be worth it? I don't know yet. I haven't played the thing yet. I'm not a CC. I will be grabbing her when she comes out, and my review for her will be up, hopefully, within a couple of days of the patch notes dropping. Now, they don't say what you get halfway through. I don't think they're giving away a ship this time, like they normally do for the halfway point for some of the dockyards. So, we don't know about that just yet. But alright, that's the Lushun Dockyard. Did they say what you will get for Interesting. Okay, now, normally it's steel if you buy it through the phases. So let's say you buy the starter pack for 5 shipbuilding phases. Well, you actually need those to complete it. So if you buy the starter pack for 10 shipbuilding phases for 11,000 dubs, that will net you 5 phases that you bought, which normally you can grind those out for steel afterwards. It's been like that for forever. Typically, that's normally what they do, but they don't note it here in the patch notes. But I will assume that's what we are getting if you do buy through the dockyard. And you might be thinking someone throws $300 at the dockyard just to get steel. Yeah, you'd be surprised how many people do because of how rare steel is. And especially with a ship that's being released this update, quite a few players are going to be trying to get as much steel as they possibly can. And I might be one of them. Alright, so moving on from the Lushun, we are moving down to Concealed Maneuvers Stage 2. So this is the version of Concealed Maneuvers that we played on the public test a little while ago. I did a whole video on it. It's exactly the same, except for 2 things. It's at tier 10, and there are mines now. Mines that go down to the bottom of the ocean, I should say. So the Essex is returning, along with the Taiho. They were the previous Tier 9 aircraft carriers in their respective tech trees. Essex was a Tier 9 American carrier. Taiho was a Tier 9 Japanese carrier. They're back now, and they have the support carrier loadout, meaning that the Taiho has smoke generator planes, and the Essex has the mine planes. Now, in this version, the mines are able to affect submarines. There are anchors that go down to the seafloor that the submarines can run into. Did a full video on that, and it's, in my opinion, a great tool to either force submarine players to come to the surface to run through the minefield, because yeah, submarines are small and they're quick and they can easily dodge the mines on the surface, but they have to be on the surface to do it. So if there's a submarine about your teammates, you drop some mines on him, and well, he's got to come to the surface to run out of that minefield, or he has to submerge and slowly navigate through the minefield, which burns precious dive time. And there's a lot of comments saying, well, how's the teammates going to know if there's a submarine there? Fellas, if the submarine's spotted and the CV goes over to him and drops mines on him, and the teammates haven't caught on to that, I don't know what to tell you. Because, yeah, there are teammates like that that are completely oblivious anyway. But, I mean, most players are looking out for submarines. I mean, good God, how many games do you play and the second submarine spotted, there's just an entire, bomber flight of ASW planes going over to the submarine just to ruin the man's day. So I think it'll be a pretty neat tool. I'll be interested to see how it's doing on the live server with more real players than on the PT server where it's mostly bots. But yeah, that's what's happening with Concealed Maneuvers. Speaking of still, you might be wondering, why do you have still on the brain, Sealord? Because, fellas, the Rosario di Lauria, I'm just going to call it the Lauria because I'm not Italian. The Lauria is coming out. This is the Italian battlecruiser armed with 18-inch SAP shells. It doesn't feel like this ship was announced that long ago, and here she is already releasing for steel. Now, man, this thing's got a big price tag because they're doing the stupid thing again, and I know why they're doing it. So they're doing the whole, it's coming out now, but it'll be available at a later date, which is the same thing they pulled with the Brisbane. We'll get to that in a second. So she is a steel ship. So you might be thinking, well, yeah, Sealord, she's a steel ship. So yeah, you're going to want steel to get it. Yeah, well, her price is being inflated because right now, not right now because she's not out yet, but when she releases with 12.7, the only way you can get it is if you buy a bundle that has her and her steel camo for a grand total of 36,000 steel. So what event is happening where you can actually buy steel? The Dockyard. Y'all see what they doing? Y'all see what they doing? Yeah. I have no reservations that 18-inch SAP isn't going to be anything other than absolutely devastating. So obviously they want people to throw money at the Dockyard so they can grind out the missions for steel. Wargaming, can't you just release the thing? Like, it's a steel ship. Why does it have to have some type of special release for a resource that you have to grind half a year, if not more, in order to get? And even if you do have a good amount of steel, it's 36,000 steel. It's being artificially inflated because it's coming with a stupid steel camo. So, yeah, and for reference, if you're wondering about the average cost of steel ships, let me just pull it up real quick. And if the armory, if you can look at steel ships in the web version of the armory. Yeah, I think you can. You can look at that. So let's take a look at some steel ships, shall we? Just to see the cost. So Plymouth, 27,000 steel. FDR, which is the most expensive steel ship ever released, 33,000. Shikishima, 20-inch guns, 32,000. Mecklenburg, great ship, 31,000. Incomparable, funny, goofy British boat with 20-inch guns, 31,000. This thing is 6,000 steel, or 5,000 steel, above the average cost of a Tier 10 steel battleship. Because it comes with a stupid camo. And they're doing the whole, it'll come back later thing in order to entice FOMO about the ship, not being available for a long time. So you'll throw money at the Dockyard event. And you might be saying, well, okay, so what does this have to do with, that whole at a later time thing? Because at a later time thing can mean like freaking 5 months later. For example, Brisbane is finally being released in the armory for 252,000 coal now. And Brisbane was initially released in the event that they had for her. God, let me see. I'm checking my channel now. 6 months ago, just about. Yeah. So, they're doing the old thing of trying to induce FOMO by saying it'll be available back at a later date, but if you want it now, just get it now or not get to play with it for half a year. Which, granted, it's probably going to take me that long to get the steel anyway. But yeah, for those that are within the dockyard, exactly one dockyard's worth of steel away from it, you see what they're doing there. So I don't like that. I'm not a fan of that. Just release the thing, Wargaming. God, why do we have to go through all these? Well, because they want money. I know why, but yeah, is bad. All right, moving on from my Lauria Rant, we are of course getting a new Battle Pass this go round. The free pass, the final reward for that is a bonus package for a Tier 7 ship. That's cool. The Premium Battle Pass, the final reward is 10,000 Research Bureau points. And of course, we'll know about the Battle Pass once the update release date gets a little bit closer. Also, we are of course getting the visual and audio enhancements that we've seen on the PT server. Game going to look good in this update. Again, if you want to see more of that, you can check out the video that I did on the ASW Mines, because that was also part of that video looking at the PT server. Game's going to look good. It's going to look real good in this update. The new wave physics and stuff, it's beautiful. And the French funnels will finally rotate like they were supposed to do oh so long ago. Also, some other ships like carriers, their masts will fold down now. That's cool. I like that. I like that a lot. And of course, there is some audio changes and updates coming with that update as well. The new sound is really good too. I gotta tell y'all, it sounds nice. The guns sound meaty, and the secondary guns sound a lot meatier, and like they carry weight now too. And there's better sound over distance as well. It's good. It's good. Is big good as well. Like I already mentioned, Brisbane is coming out in the armory. We're also getting the unique upgrades for the Petropavlovsk and the Richthofen. We're finally getting some new unique upgrades after, God, it feels like forever since we had the last one. And this update is, of course, bringing the trade-in system to the game. So for the first time ever in this game's history, you're going to be able to trade in your old premium ships for newer ones. I, of course, do not encourage this at all, because it's not a good deal, and those are just ships that you're going to get less rewards for the anniversary update that's coming in September. So, and for the Christmas containers too. So I wouldn't advise doing it unless you just don't care about those two events. Then yeah, but that is happening in this update. If you want to know more details about that, I do have a video just on that subject as Well, ranked is kicking off on, let's see, yeah, 6v6 with tier 8 ships, and then tier 9 are silver and gold leagues. So you can start tier 8, and then, yeah, so for me that means I'm starting with Massachusetts and then transitioning to Palmern once I get to silver. Alright, clan battles are of course happening this update. They are starting on the, where date? It doesn't give me the date. I think it's the 23rd. But yeah, they haven't really done much else. It's not a really in-depth season like the previous season was, where we had all these, you know, more in-depth and well-thought-out band system. Now it's just more of, oh, you can only bring one Kleber or Marceau. Again, I don't know, last clan battle season they went really in-depth with the bands and stuff. It was a more well-thought-out system. This one they're just back to kind of the, yeah, you can't bring any of these ships. I don't know. I guess the previous season was a trial run, which I thought it was pretty cool. But, yeah. Now, to the Arpeggio of Blue Steel. They say the Arpeggio of Blue Steel, Ars Nova, is making its return to Wood Warships in Update 12.7. The Blue Steel ships and commanders that you are already familiar with will once again gather to face off against the Fleet of Fog. A new Arpeggio of Blue Steel container that can drop themed ships will also be available. I don't know what this is. It's more weeb stuff. You know, so there's that. The ARP Yamato is returning. Please don't buy that. Don't buy the tier 10 ship, please. Well, that's it for the update for the major additions and changes. If you want to know more, again, you can check out the link to the article in the description down below. So tell me, guys, what are you excited for? What are you curious about? And what are you not looking forward to in this update in the comments down below. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. We're getting very close to 50,000 subs, and I cannot thank you guys enough for that. We are doing a 50K giveaway once we reach that goal, so make sure you stick around for that as well. Hope you guys have a great Tuesday and a great rest of your week. Hope to catch you guys in the next one.